Yo, welcome to the Vibe Provider podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin Friel, and I got a good topic for you. Shooters shoot. We're going to talk about times when you shot your shot and it failed. I have a story, and then I have some stories from some listeners. So that's going to be our topic today. It should make us LOL. So but as always, we're going to start with life updates, and I got new nails. I have snake print, and they're so fun. Casey, my friend, she is the one that does them. She was the one that recommended it, but every time I'm like, okay, I'll do it next month. So we finally got the snake nails. On my left hand, it goes green to blue, and then on my right hand, did I say left hand? On my left hand, it goes green to blue, and then on my right hand, it goes purple to pink. They're fun. I really like them bright and colorful because I just love having little nails that stand out. Something else I wanted to bring up is I made a charm necklace. I feel like charm necklaces have been getting very popular the last couple of weeks, maybe even months. So I was at a friend's house and I asked her, I was like, have you seen the cute little charm necklaces all over Instagram and TikTok? And she's like, no. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, I was just going to bring it up to chat about it. But she was like, but like, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, people are just making these cute, like fun, chunky charm necklaces with just like the cutest charms. And she's like, okay, hold on one second. And I was like, excuse me? What? She proceeds to go through her closet and she like starts bringing out things to make charm necklaces, and she had like the charms and the little pliers you needed, and she's like, all right, like I have some charms if we want to make some. And I was like, are you serious? It's one of those things that like you had no idea you were gonna do the thing that day, and then all of a sudden it's like I'm leaving her house with like 2 charm necklaces that I've been like wanting so bad. That was super exciting, very fun, spur of the moment. I did not know I was going to be leaving with cute charm necklaces. But anyways, I'm wearing one right now and I love it. I have like a chunky one and then like a subtle small one. And they just have like the most fun charms. Like this one, I have like a balloon animal, a heart with wings, a cherry, a gummy bear, a lightning, just random. So random, but so cute. I am pumped about that. I've been wearing them every day. Then, I'm gonna bring this up because it was awkward. So we're gonna cringe for just a moment. Kala and I got invited to go over to this like family friend's house for dinner, and it's like older people, and we go over there just to like say hi, catch up, eat dinner. It was like friends from out of town were there too. So we walk up to the door, we start to walk in, and the ladies are greeting us, and we give like hugs and kisses, and she puts her hand on my stomach, and she's very soft spoken, so I can't really hear her. So I literally don't even remember exactly what she said, but she was like implying like, "Oh, you're pregnant." And I was literally so stunned. I could not speak. It was so just an awkward situation. I really like couldn't shake it for like most of the dinner. Like I really just was like, it wasn't like I was upset. It was just like so awkward for me. And I didn't even like say like, I didn't even be like, oh no, I'm not. It's like literally I'm just eating good. Like it was, I don't even I was just like so shaken and like just so caught off guard that it was hard to just like shake for a bit. But so I don't say anything to her in the moment, or I didn't say anything to her at all. Like the rest of the time, like she probably just thinks I'm pregnant, and she'll just think I'm pregnant forever because I'm not pregnant. Um, anyways, back to like me walking through the door. So she puts her hand on my stomach and is like rubbing it and like, it's like, oh, like guys, I cannot remember what she said, but I was just shocked, so shocked. And she said something implying like, she said pregnant something or something pregnant. I really don't know, but I was just stunned, so stunned. And It's happened before, but they were like little kids, like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm like, "Nope, just eating good." But this was like the first time an adult, grown person had ever said something to me. And I will say, I haven't seen her for like more than 5 years, and I have gained weight in the last 5 years. But yeah. Anyways, so that was awkward. So I will probably never forget that moment ever in my life. It is ingrained in my memory, and I literally still feel like so like yucky about it because I'm just like, it was so awkward. So now moving on from all things pregnant, which I am not, just to be clear. And we just had some friends come into town. They had some time off, and so they wanted to come skiing in Utah. And Kala went with them, and then we just caught up and had dinner and things like that. And we played some pickleball. And it's been a while since I played some pickleball, and I'm not terrible. So even though it's been a while, a little bit rusty, a little bit not rusty. So moving on, I want to talk about my ins and outs for 2024. So we're gonna start with the ins. Saying no. I feel like I've been better at saying no, so that shouldn't be too difficult. But I just like overbook myself, or like I say yes to all the things and then they all happen at once and I'm like, why did I do that? I hate my life. So just being like, oh shoot, can't, sorry. So, and just, yeah, say no. Drinking more water, staying organized in my house, like with clutter and like getting rid of things and just making sure everything has a spot, but also like organized, like with what I have to do day to day, what I have to do during my week. Organized for what I need to do and get done, and organized like around the house. Planning more, I feel like that goes along with the organizing. Just planning what I want to get done for the day, to-do lists, plan for the future, plan trips, plan fun things to do with Kala, plan dates, just plan. I just want to be better at planning. Me and Kala are very go with the flow people, so I just want to, well, he's good at planning, but I need to be better. So that's on the ins, that's on the list. Reading before bed. Sometimes I'm really good at it and I'll like stay up so late reading, and other times I'll go weeks without reading. So I just want to make sure I have a book to read always, just on my nightstand or on my Kindle. Um and read before bed instead of scrolling. Experimenting with new content. I feel like I'm pretty random already with content. Like I'll just do whatever. But just to like emphasize that more, to, if I'm like, oh, that's not really like my thing, it's like, we don't say that. It's just, if I want to film it, like I should just do it. Quality over quantity. That I feel like can go with a few things, like clothes and shoes, instead of having like get some quality shoes that I wear, like staples, instead of just like quantity, like, oh, they're cheap, like I just picked them up from the outlet, and I'm like, no, like we need to get shoes that we're like obsessed with and we'll wear all the time, than just like a bunch of shoes that are just like, oh, they were like so cheap, I just picked them up. But also like my podcast, like I want to have quality episodes, not like just pumping them out and they just like mean nothing. I really, so yeah, I want to make content that you're excited, like that is worth listening to. So anyways, that's why I picked today's topic, because I think it'll be funny. um Getting my ADHD in order. I've been saying, like, I always just blame everything on my ADHD. Oh, I didn't text you back. Oh, sorry, my ADHD. Can't get things done around the house. Oh, my ADHD was acting up. Big flare up. So I just need to go to the doctor and figure out, like I do, like I've had people like reach out to me and they're like, try this, or like work out and a few other things. So I need to get back to doing things that could potentially help my ADHD. But also, I'm like, maybe it is so bad that I just need to go to the doctor and get some professional advice and see what they think. So that is something that I should probably just do like super soon. Taking breaks. I feel like there's no real explanation for that except just like, it's cool to take breaks. Like, you're fine. Like, don't overthink it. Don't feel guilty. Oh, okay. Take more everyday photos. Normally, I get really excited to take photos when I go on vacations because it's new, the architecture, food, whatever. It's all just, I just want to document everything and remember it. But why am I not doing that like day to day? So I just want to have my camera on me at all times and be able to like document how fun life is day to day. Like, you don't have to be on a vacation to like take photos and remember something. So I need to be better at that. A word that's on my list is dedicated. Like, I need to be dedicated. I need to be dedicated to this podcast, to film and get guests and edit and upload and have it on Fridays at 6 a.m. like I've promised. And even like at the end of the day, like, this is a newer podcast, so I have just a handful of listeners. I get like 100, I get a couple hundred listens every Friday, and really would, if I had something come up and I couldn't get my podcast up till, let's say, 10 a.m. on Friday, no one will probably even notice. No one will say anything, but I want to stay dedicated. And I said that an episode would be up on Fridays at 6. I want it to be there. So I just want to stay dedicated to things, dedicated to this podcast, dedicated to my YouTube channel, um, dedicated to the goals that I've set. Yeah, just, I'm someone who's just like, oh, I didn't get it done today. Like, no worries. So I just want to not, like, I need some sort of like dedication to things. And so that's like a major thing for me this year. Just trying to stay dedicated to goals and things. And then lastly, romanticize everything, making mundane things fun and cute. And for an example, last week it was snowing, and in my office there's these windows, and I could see the snow coming down, and I just was like, oh, this feels like a movie. And so I got up and I turned the light off in my office, and I lit a candle, and I edited my podcast episode by candlelight with the snow falling outside. And I just felt like I had romanticized that moment. And I made like something, like editing a podcast, like something I'll remember doing. So that's an example of like how I want to romanticize things. But going to my outs for 2024, saying sorry too much. Oh my gosh, I say, oh, sorry, like, oh, like, no, let's say sorry when we actually mean it, and not as a filler word. Or yeah. So overbooking myself, mindless scrolling, over caffeinated, worry about being behind, putting unnecessary pressure on myself, living above my means. And I like that last one, living above my means. Claw is so good at that. He really just like, he is a saver. He's not a spender. He doesn't consume a whole bunch. But I will say I've been a little bit better at consuming. I feel like I used to be so terrible and just always like buy, 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 buy. Anytime I had money. I mean, I'm still like that. Whenever I have money, I'll buy something off like my little wish list I have going. But I will say I'm so much better today than I was like even like a year ago. So that is good. But just, yeah, remember that I don't need to live above my means. Moving on, I have a new hyperfixation I wanted to tell you guys about. So this last week, I have been totally obsessing with Shop Kristen Jones. I know I was just talking about like, oh, living above, or like one of my outs, living above my means and like spending and all that. But there has been this shop, and I am like so obsessed with it. I think it's also because it's all over my Instagram and it's just so cute. So there is this like influencer shop owner girl named Kristen Jones, and she's cute. Like, I haven't really seen her a whole bunch, but I see her designs all the time everywhere. She creates collections in her shop. So for example, she had a Halloween collection, and it was like super vintage looking, super cute and trendy. And so she'll have like t-shirts, trucker hats, and crew necks, and they just have like the cutest like Halloween graphics on there. Then she came up with a Christmas one, and those were so cute, and those were like vintagey and cute and colorful and trendy. And I try not to buy a whole bunch of like Halloween or Christmas clothes because you only can wear them one time a year. So I didn't end up buying anything, even though I thought everything was so darling. But she came out with a Valentine's collection. And the thing is, like, her Valentine's collection is just like stuff I'd wear all the time. And it's not like Valentine's like in your face. Like, she does have one design, it's like be my Valentine, and it's like vintage and so cute, and it's just like two hands handing like this vintage like heart scalloped Valentine, and it says be my Valentine, I think, and it's cute. Obviously I wouldn't probably buy that one, but there were a few other designs that were so cute. One of it's like, I'm not gaslighting you, you're just crazy. And I'm like, that's not really like Valentine's in my opinion, but it was funny. I didn't end up buying that one, but I'm like, low key, that like is pretty funny. Because obviously that's gaslighting. But there's just cute designs. So you should just get on and look. But I ordered my first order from her, and it was just graphic tees. Let's be honest, I really wanted crew necks, but I feel like, okay, actually, I'm glad I'm talking about this because normally I buy crew necks in everything because crew necks are my comfort clothes. I wear them every day. But when spring and summer comes around, I can't wear crew necks anymore. And I literally have 20 crew necks. And now I need to wear t-shirts. And I don't have any cute t-shirts to wear. And I'm frustrated. And I feel like I don't have any clothes to wear. So I ended up getting t-shirts instead of crew necks because each graphic you can order in a crew neck or a t-shirt. And I did all t-shirts. And it was a little bit depresso. But future me will be very happy that I can wear these shirts. I can layer and like wear cute long sleeves under them in the winter and put a jacket over. And then in the summer, I can wear them with like cute shorts and it will be fine. So I ordered a few Valentine shirts that I'll be able to wear all year round. And I'm very, 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 very excited. I also saw her post a little sneak peek of something that she's going to come out with. And I literally saw like the tiniest little glimpse of like the bottom of the shirt, and I was like, I already know I love it. Like, it's so cute. I need you guys to go check it out. Shop Kristen Jones because they're just like so cute and so affordable. Like, I feel like graphic tees go for like $50 to $60 like on Urban Outfitters, or like honestly even $100 on Free People, but these shirts are like $38, and I'm sure it's gonna come on like a comfort color t-shirt and it's just like a regular old t-shirt, but guess what, it's affordable. And yeah, I don't need like $100 graphic tee. So that's like my hyperfixation. I really am just like loving her shop, and I want every single item that she's coming out with, and I'm just excited to see what she comes out with more. So I feel like I want to save my money and buy the next shirt. That was my hyperfixation. Still is. I like love that little shop, and I can't wait to see all the other new designs she comes out with. Topic time. A time you tried to shoot your shot and it failed. I'm going to read the short answers first. Everything I'm going to read is listeners' stories. And then at the end, I'll share my own story that I tried to shoot my shot and it failed. So let's get into them. This one said, I invited him to prom. He rejected me at prom, then gave me a pity dance because he felt bad. Ay, ay, ay. Asked a guy on a date, turns out he was already seen someone. I wish I could have gotten more of a backstory on this one because I'm sure if you asked a guy on a date, you probably like were talking or like getting to know each other, because I feel like a blind date is mostly like you getting set up, but like you asking the guy on a date, I feel like he had to have been somewhat interested or like acting interested or like kind of giving, I don't know. I just wish I would have asked. I wish I would have asked for a little bit of backstory. This one isn't a dating one. This one says, I saw Christian Bale in an airport in Costa Rica, asked for a photo with him, and he was so mean. Hearing this story makes me be like, I never want to ask for a photo if I ever see a celebrity out in the wild, unless it was like a VIP experience where it's like, let's take a photo. You know, it's kind of like in the package, the VIP package. But yeah, after hearing this, I'm like, I would never want to ask a celebrity for a photo because I just assume they're going to say no. But yeah, that sucks. And I feel like I've seen like things of like him being Batman and like visiting kids in a hospital. So I'm like, maybe he was just having a bad day. Maybe Christian Bale was just having a bad day in Costa Rica. Okay. This one says, tried flirting with someone and he told me to back off. Oh my gosh. I just wish I was a fly on the wall for like when that flirting was happening and why the guy was just like not having it. Makes me curious, but next. Okay, now we are getting into the longer submissions. And this one says, in my first semester of college, there was this guy in my math class. We met in class and hit it off as friends from the start. We would talk every day in math about anything and everything. I feel like we had a good amount in common. It got to the point where we would walk out of math talking together, and sometimes it seemed like he would even wait for me so we could walk together. Eventually, we started studying together, and he even asked me if I could show him where to get his student ID card. One day, him and I were studying together before our spring break starts. After we were done studying, he goes, well, have a fun break. I can't wait to catch up after. And so I decided to shoot my shot and say, hey, we can keep in touch during the break. Can I get your number? And he goes, I have a Facebook. And took my phone and requested himself on Facebook. Let's just say once class resumed after break, I would try and make small talk with him, but he didn't want to talk to me. I must have read all the signs wrong. I don't think you read the signs wrong. That is very shocking. If like I would have done the same thing. Well, I hope you have a fun break. Like, I can't wait to catch up after. I would have been like, oh, like we should do something during break. Like we can keep in touch during break. Like, I feel like that's such a normal thing to say after like you're studying together, you're walking together, you're talking every class. I would totally assume that like, and the thing is, it's not like you're like, hey, be my boyfriend. You're like, oh yeah, we can keep in touch during break. And he's like, I have a Facebook. It's like, sir, why are you even spending time with me if like you wouldn't give me your number? So I don't think you read the signs wrong. I just think that guy like doesn't know how to communicate and talk to girls, because him talking to you about anything and everything and studying together after class and this and that, and then like not being willing to give you his number is bizarre. So no, I don't think he must have read the signs wrong. I think it makes me be like, I wonder why he wasn't comfortable giving you his number, but he'll like study with you after class. That's where I'm getting confused. And this next one says, I have had this on again, off again friend crush since middle school. Times when I had a crush on him, he didn't have a crush on me, and times he had a crush on me when I didn't have a crush on him. We stayed close friends since middle school all the way through high school. When we graduated, he ended up going on a church mission after high school, but got sent home early during COVID because he had terrible asthma. We ended up meeting up while he was home. While he was dropping me off in his car, I mentioned to him that I like him more than a friend, etc. His response was, I figured. And then she's like, okay, great. Then she says, a series of unfortunate events happen. I tore my ACL, my whole family gets COVID, and then he gets sent back on his church mission for another year and a half. He comes home and doesn't invite me to the airport like he did with his other friends. So, to pause the story, in Utah, sometimes when missionaries come home, they have like a little like they invite people to come to the airport, and people make like poster boards, and their families there and like close friends get to like welcome them home. So he invited friends, but he didn't invite her. So some time goes by and we hang out, and he brings up the time I told him I liked him more than a friend, and then proceeded to talk about it for an hour and says something along the lines of he didn't feel the same way. And she was like, cool, I literally was never going to bring this up ever again in my entire life. So, and then how he proceeds to talk about for another hour. Okay. And during this hour conversation, he says, I'm not saying that we're never going to get married. And she goes, what do you mean? Like to anyone, like to each other? And he goes, like to each other. Like, I'm not saying that's not going to happen. And she's like, sir, what is going on? Like, you just said you don't have feelings for me, but then you're like, I'm not going to say we're not going to get married, and we're not even dating. Like, this is weird. So that's super awkward. And some more time goes by, and they see each other at a friend's house, and it's so awkward. They don't talk. And then she says, then they see each other at a friend's wedding, and he's like looking at her all the time and not saying anything. And she's like, this is awkward and this is so terrible. I feel so weird about this. Then a couple of days goes by and she calls him and is like, why is this weird? Why is it awkward? Why aren't we friends? And she says that he just makes up a ton of excuses and how he's busy, or like how he's going to be busy, but it's like, dude, you're not there yet, so how do you even know? So she says, moral of the story, if he wanted to, he would. The first thing that comes to mind is like, dude, that sucks. That's like on again, off again crush since middle school, and now you guys are like in your early 20s. And this guy is just like, I don't like, I'm not going to say we're not going to get married, but at the same time, it's like, I don't have feelings for you. And it's like, what does that even mean? Like, that's confusing. So sorry, because I'm feeling that like, and this is like happening to you. So I can't even imagine how confusing that is. But I mean, how she sounds is like that she's like way over this guy. Thank goodness, because no need to be toyed along, you know? Just be with someone who like wants to be with you. But it seems like you tried to shoot your shot in the car, and then like he has to bring it up a year and a half or longer than that later, and bring it up and then say that he doesn't feel the same way. It's like, sir, we freaking got that from the silence, from like you not talking to me. So weird. Yeah, that guy sucks. Like, sorry if you guys are still friends or whatever, but I would not be interested in him at all. Like, he just gives me, like, totally bad vibes. Like, he's not self-aware. Yeah. So crazy. So crazy. I used to bring it up a year and a half later. Like, that is shocking. Sir, please don't talk to me. You're annoying. So, okay. I have one more, and then I have my own story to share. This one is from a guy. So all those were from girls. So this one's from a guy. During high school, this classmate and I would talk, flirt here and there, and every so often I'd give her a ride home. After a few weeks, I thought she was feeling it. The hugs got longer, the flirting picked up, and asked for more rides. So one day I was giving her a ride home, and she had a few things in the trunk. I hurried and helped her take them out. We spoke for a few minutes outside the car. She goes in for a goodbye hug, and I go in for the kiss. I connect, and she pulls back and slaps me and yells, "No!" Then just walks away like I'm a bad dog. I get back in the car and I drive off and laugh in embarrassment. I feel like that is the most relatable story. Like, it hasn't happened to me, but I feel like that is the most like relatable high school story ever. Like, I'm sure there were so many times like people thought they were like more than they really were, or like someone's like way into it and the other person's just like, oh, we're friends. So I'm like, literally, that's not super shocking, because I feel like I've heard that same exact story from like someone else. The fact that he says like she yells no, like I'm a bad dog. LOL, that's so funny. Okay, now for my story. Okay, so I'm a senior in high school. By the way, if you guys don't know, I moved in high school. So I moved the summer before my junior year. So at this high school, I'm a senior at this point, and I still have like not that many friends. I have like a handful, and they're not like super crazy. It's not like we're so tight, like been friends since kindergarten. Like, I've known these, like some of my friends since I've lived there. So like a year. And so no guys are like trying to hit me up, or like I had a few guys that were interested, but I was like not interested in them. So dating life was like very dry. But I ended up going to a basketball game with a group of friends, and they were going to spend the night at my house afterwards. So it was like a Friday night. We're at this high school basketball game. This is so crazy that I remember what I was wearing, because like of how traumatic this was. Like it's like engraved in my brain. And the thing is, like, I can't even tell you what I wore last week, but the fact that I remember what I was wearing skinny jeans, a blue purple floral tank top with and like this purple hoodie that matched, and then like a leather jacket, and the hood was like poking out, and I was like feeling myself. I was looking so cute. I had black Vans on, and like my whole outfit was PacSun. So you could say that like 17-year-old Caitlin was like feeling herself that night. So I'm at this basketball game sitting with friends, and this guy, not gonna lie, he was so cute, and he was a swimmer, and he was so smart, and he was one of those seniors that like was never at the high school because he was always at like the community college taking like college classes, and like he'd be at the school like maybe for 1 or 2 classes. So he was never really around. I've seen him and I was like, oh, he's cute, and like his friends were really popular and cute, so you knew him, and he kept looking at me at the basketball game, and I was like, I should have known. When guys are looking at you, it means absolutely nothing, okay? And he just like kept looking at me, and I'm like, maybe he thinks I'm so cute. Anyways, so me and my friends leave. We go back to my house, and this was like when Facebook was popular, and I was like, guys, that guy was, I literally don't even remember his name, but I remembered my outfit. But so we get back to my house, and I'm like, guys, that guy was looking at me, and he's so cute. Like, should I shoot my shot? And my friends were like, yeah, like he's so into you. If he was looking at you the whole time, like shoot your shot. So I get on Facebook Messenger, and I think we're friends on Facebook. I mean, we had to be if I'm like messaging him. Anyways, never have talked to this kid ever in my life. So dude, this like story is like all sorts of wrong because never have even talked. All I'm going off of is that he was looking at me at this basketball game. So I don't know why I was feeling so confident about the looks, but so I messaged him and I was like, hey, I saw you sneaking a couple peeks at the basketball game tonight. Like, I don't even remember what it's something along that line. Like, hey, I saw you sneaking a couple looks at the game. Like, here's my number. We should like talk or hang out or something. I cannot remember. But literally, it felt like ages the whole night. Didn't get a message back. And I was like, no, no. I was like, what did I do? And then I got a message the next day at like noon. So literally felt like 4 years later. But so next day, he messages like, ha 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 ha. Okay, that's it. But I'm like, okay, no worries. Because he's never at the high school. We don't have any classes together. It's really no worries. Like, nothing terrible is going to happen. Then at school on Monday, it's a new term. Guess who has a class with him first period? This girl. I walk into senior English. It's a new term. It's our first day in this class. I go sit down. He walks in and I'm like, you are freaking kidding me? What the actual heck? I'm mortified. And I'm like, maybe my profile picture doesn't look like me. Like, let's hope. And so crazy. So, I'm some reason, like, I'm really close with the senior English teacher, like so close. Like, I would tell her everything and anything. And so I don't remember when I told her, but I must have been like talking to her and been like, oh my gosh, like, guess like this is like, I messaged him, I totally tried to shoot my shot, he like didn't say anything, and I thought I was like gonna be totally fine because he doesn't like really take classes here, and then I'm like have class with him now, and she thinks it's hilarious. So then next time she makes a seating chart, she puts us sitting right next to each other, and I'm like, he never says a thing because he's a king, but the whole semester I'm just like, freak my life. Anyways, and so, like, I'm sure we made, like, small talk, but it was, like, anything crazy. Yeah. But anyways, that's my story of when I shot my shot, and it totally failed, and I feel like it got worse. But fun fact, I did shoot my shot with my husband, Kala, and now we're married. So I feel like shooting your shot's okay. But for today's topic, we needed the failures. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I wanted to kind of, like, make you guys like cringe a little bit, LOL in the car or while you're vacuuming or whatever. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed these stories. This is your reminder, shoot your shot. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye.